There's an outpouring of abundance, New doors have been opened. The land, it is green. A new grace has been released. The glory of the latter is greater than the former. The blessing is here. It's all here. Lift up your hands, come on. The glory of the latter is greater than the former. The blessing is here. It's all here. All here. There's an overflow. Abundance of favor.
Pauline is an author, speaker, educator, and education enthusiast and parent mentor. She's also the founder of Star Reaches Community Initiative, a charity that is actively seeking to equip parents and youth-oriented groups with effective tools to help children aspire for academic excellence and success in life. She believes that every child can do well in school when parents are actively and strategically involved in their children's studies. She is passionate about seeing children maximize their potential in school and life. Pauline Limen.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sandra? Okay, I can't hear you. I could hear you when you introduced me, but now that you're talking, I can't hear you at all. Let me see. No, I can't hear. Can the audience hear? No. I still can't hear. I don't know what's happening. Would you? Wow, wow, wow. I'm not sure what is happening here. I'm not sure what's happening. I've tested the mic. It's okay at this end. So I don't know what is happening. Okay. Okay. So, can everyone hear me? Sandra, please just then type in the chat so I know everyone can hear me. Then I'll just go ahead. Your background music is still playing though. Okay, the background music has stopped playing. Fantastic. So can I go ahead? Can everyone hear me? Okay, I should go ahead. Good, that's fine. Okay, hello everyone. Technology sometimes can really disappoint us. It's a shame that it's a bit like a one-sided thing. I'd have loved us to have, to love to be able to talk with Sandra, but it's fine. I'll just go ahead. I want to congratulate everybody that is joining this IG Live today. And those that are going to be watching the replay, it shows how much you value the responsibility that God has given you, and that is effective parenting of your children. And it also shows that you understand the power in effective parenting. So I trust that it's going to be an amazing time today as we talk about the magic of nurturing a relationship with your child, a positive relationship with your child. And in it, we're going to be looking at the importance of why do we need to develop a good relationship with our children, a healthy, a positive, and a productive relationship. So when it's healthy, when it's positive, it's productive. Productive means that it's going to yield fruits. So we're going to be looking at the different fruits that can be yielded when that can be produced when you as a parent, as a mother, as a father has a good relationship with your child. And we're going to be discussing practical things that you can start to do today to be able to have or nurture a better relationship with your children. Now, I must say I'm married, I'm minister of the gospel too. I work with youths, and I have 3 daughters. My first is 20, 17, and 12. So I have 3 daughters. I have an adult child, and we have a brilliant relationship. And what I'm going to be sharing with us today are strategies that have worked for me. So why should you nurture a positive relationship with your child? Now, a positive relationship, when I think about relationship, for those of us here, we are parents, so we are married. And we know when you have a good relationship with your spouse, you know the power in it. You know how much you can influence them. You know how much there is joy. There is laughter at home. The atmosphere in the house is great. So similarly, when you have a great relationship with your child, it also has those sort of outcomes. So a relationship with your child helps you, it enables you to know your child better. Okay, so if you don't have a relationship, you can't really know who your child is. You can't understand them. It is through a relationship, to paying attention to your child. You pay attention to their moods. You pay attention to their desires. What do they like? What do they not like? So you can understand them better. And when you understand them better, then your relationship becomes better. You know, this child does not respond well to this kind of discipline or this way of talking. So I'll choose the right one. So having a relationship with your child helps them to understand them better and helps you even with your parenting. Research shows that teenagers that are raised in loving homes who have a good relationship with their parents, for such teenagers, their parents' voice will be louder than that of their peers. They will seek and trust your advice and have positive future outcomes. So this is what research is showing, that when we have a positive and productive relationship with our children, okay, it makes us to be a great influence in their lives. So we're able to influence them. They're able to listen to us. A lot of time parents say the children don't listen to them, but we need to have a relationship first. It's like if you want to get something from your husband, you want a favor. If you have a great relationship with him, you know, the time when you connect well with your husband, that's the time where you can easily get something from him. So we as parents are meant to be the primary source of influence for our children. So when we have a good relationship with them, despite the noise from social media and all the external influences that are here, your voice will still be loud. And they'll keep remembering, my mom told me not to do this. My mom told me not to be involved with this kind of people. Because you have a relationship with them, they will come to you for advice. They will not just take decisions without seeking you, because there's an open communication. They will talk to you, they'll seek advice, and they'll take your advice, because it's one thing to give advice. It's another thing for your child to actually take that advice and do something with it. So when you have a great relationship, you can give them advice, they can come to you for advice, and then they can take the advice. And children will take advice, parental advice, usually have better or positive future life outcomes. Okay, the other importance is that it helps your teenager to be open to you. So they're open to you, they can tell you anything, they're not afraid, because it's a relationship. A lot of times teenagers hide things from their parents. They're not open, they don't feel free to talk about everything and anything. And I tell you, this is in this generation, you want to be the one talking to your child, telling them about life, telling them about, the things that media bomb puts in their faces every day. They need to be able to hear your perspective. So it's really important for you to have that relationship with your child so that you can actually be able to, to talk to them about the things of life that is affecting young people every day. And it's so important to start this relationship early. So don't wait until your child is a teenager before you seek a relationship. Start a relationship with your toddler. We have a natural relationship as mothers. We carry a pregnancy. So there is a relationship there. The umbilical cord connects you to your baby. So when the baby is born, we breastfeed them. We hold them in our arms. We look into their eyes. That connection is the relationship. And as they're growing older, it seems as if that connection tends to widen. But no, we need to look for ways to ensure that that connection, that bond does not get broken, that gap, that closeness continues to abide. Because when you have a relationship early with your child, when they become a teenager, where they are trying to discover who they are, to make sense of who they are, find their identity and their life perspectives, at the time when friends are influencing them, social media, so many voices are in their faces. At that time, if you had a relationship early on with your child, it will be easy to maintain that relationship even as they become teenagers or even as they go through adolescence. And research also shows that the quality of the relationship that you have with your child, your teenager, will reflect, it will be a reflection of the quality of the relationship that you will have with them when they become an adult. So it's really good. If there's anything we can do is as parents is to invest in the quality of the relationship we have with our younger children, starting from there, and then as they go through adolescence, to ensure that we have that, or we maintain that positive relationship. Now, there is this quote that I really like. It says, rules without relationship leads to rebellion. One of the things I found really, really easy, raising up my children, even as teenagers in the Western world where we live, is that it's when you have a relationship with your child, it's easier for them to obey, to comply. There's a relationship, there is love. They know you love them. They know you have their best interest. And so the advice you give them or the discipline you give them, they take it. They don't like, I don't think any child likes discipline, but they receive it. They obey, they easily comply when there is a relationship. And also when we have a relationship, with our children, they feel loved and valued. They feel loved and valued because relationship is a product of time. So when you make time for your child, you take a weekend and hang out with them, or you go meet them in their bedroom and have a chat with them, just about anything and anything. You are investing time. They know that my mom, who is busy, my dad, who is busy, have given up a lot of things to make that special time. My mom values me. My dad values me. That is a message they hear. And when they know that parents value them, I tell you, they are less likely to seek relationships outside, to seek love outside. Again, studies show that when children are raised in a loving environment where they have a good relationship with their parents, those children are less likely to get involved in early teen relationships. So it's really, really important to note that. So children go out for relationship because we are not there for them. We don't make time for them. Okay, for those of us in Africa, especially, we have so many house helps, we have house help, we have driver, we have different people doing different things for us, and we don't really spend enough time with these children to build relationship. So in that situation, we need to be intentional about creating that time to make them feel that, no, I still love you, I really value you, I'm going to make this time for you. And then one other thing is, when children have a good relationship with their parents, they value family. And that family value is so important because even when they go on to university or they leave home to fly with their wings, they come back to family. They think about family. They are ringing mommy and dad every day. They're checking on them every day. I know of some children who go to university. I've heard of people talk about, their children go to university and they don't contact home. They come just maybe for Christmas, whereas they could easily come for weekends. So it's really, really important. If there's any sacrifice we need to do, is ensuring that we nurture a positive and a productive relationship with our children. Now, as we go along, I would like us to, if we have questions, we have comments, I'm not I don't have all the knowledge, there's nobody that has all the information. So let's share one or two things to bless others. Let's put our questions in the chat box. And at the end, we should have some time, I believe, to be able to tackle some questions. So how do you build or develop or nurture a relationship with your child? The first thing in relationship, most important thing I would say, is unconditional love and acceptance. Love your child unconditionally. You don't love them due to performance. Okay, they do well in school, so we love them because they do well in a test today. Tomorrow, they don't do too well and you don't love them. Or tomorrow, they do something that you're disappointed by and you love them less. We need to love our children the way God loved us. God loved us with our frailties, with our, imperfections. And even when we disappoint him, the Holy Spirit, he comes and speaks to us. My daughter, come back. He nudges us to come back. He doesn't give up on us. So let us love our children, these precious gifts that God has given us unconditionally. Let the love not be performance-based. I remember those days growing up, back home. Parents would, especially in the home of many children, some parents will prefer children who do well in class. Some parents would prefer the ones that are compliant, that are obedient. Children are different. They're different. Don't even try to compare them. They have different strengths. But let us capitalize, just focus on their strength rather than on their weaknesses. And let us love them unconditionally. If it is difficult, pray for grace. I believe in praying for everything. Pray for grace to love your child unconditionally. When your child knows that they are loved unconditionally, I tell you, even when they fail, when they disappoint, when they do something disappointing, they know when they come home, home is a refuge. Home is not a violent place where they will be disciplined fiercely or violently for making a mistake. So let us love them. Even when they make a mistake, we correct them, but we still remind them we love them because we believe in God, what God has put in them and God's purpose for their lives. We love them unconditionally. We accept them. So what is acceptance? Acceptance is accepting who your child is, the personality God has given them. Think about, again, I like to compare a relationship between spouses. A lot of problems in marriage stem from the fact that people come into marriage hoping that they will change somebody. So you see somebody's personality. Maybe they get married at 28 or 30 or 35. For 35 years, they've developed a personality. You come into this marriage and you are hoping to change that person. And because you're not able to change them, because only God can change somebody, you start to become angry at everything they do, and that destroys relationship. So similarly with our children, let's accept them with their personalities, with their character, with that which God has put in them. Let's accept them, and let's not try to make them who we believe they should be. Okay? But let them to be their unique selves. Let us let them be, the people that God has created them to be. And as we start to accept them, pray for grace. Again, if you think it's something difficult to do, pray for grace to accept your child as they are, to accept that they're a quiet child, to accept that they're a chatterbox, to accept that, they are, they are scattered, they're disorganized, but that, with you constantly reminding them in a loving way, they'll improve. But just accept them for who they are. Because when you accept them, you stop judging them. It reduces friction between you and your child. When you don't accept your child, you are criticizing them. You are, getting into confrontations, to power struggles all the time. And that power struggle tends to widen the gap between you and your child. So unconditional love and acceptance are very, very important. Love your child. Now remind them that you love them. I know for us Africans, a lot of Africans, it's not something easy, especially for the men. Tell your child, remind them you love them. I love you. Call them baby, dad, call them all those good names. My husband is the only man in the house, and he spoils his daughters. He calls them baby, you look good. I love you. They hear I love you every day. You need to remind your child that you love them. When you remind them that you love them, I tell you, they will not look for love outside, because they know that there is a secure base at home. They are loved regardless. Okay, so remind them that you love them. Show warmth. Hug them. Hug them. Do nice gestures. They take them out. Give them gifts. Show acts of love and kindness to your child. That, it's powerful. I tell you, whatever happens, they don't go away from home. So that is really, really powerful. So be warm, be loving. That loving and warm relationship helps your child feel secure. It feels secure. They feel secure, They become confident. They become happier, and they become fulfilled. Now, I love research a lot. I love to back up the things that I say with research. So research reveals that children who are loved by their parents are likely to be influenced by their parents, less likely to engage in drugs and dysfunctional behavior, alcohol addiction, early sexual involvement. So that is what research is showing us, the power of love. And that is the kind of love that God has for us. So let us show our children that we love them. Don't just assume that they know you love them, but show them that you love them. Show them that you love them. Make time for them. Make family time a priority. The second way in which we can show unconditional love is to value them. Value your child. Speak to your child intelligently and nurture a culture of respect. So a lot of times we as parents, we speak to our children as if they're not thinking. You are just talking. We don't let them speak. We silence them. But speak to your child intelligently as a human being that actually understands. And you'll be surprised to see their reasoning. If we give them opportunity to talk, you will see their reasoning. You'll be able to assess the level of maturity in their thinking. So speak to your child intelligently. Nurture a culture of respect. No shouting, no, talking rashly, the tone of voice, let us tone it down. Value their opinions. When you're in a conversation and they give their opinion about something, listen to them. Value their opinion. Even if you don't agree with it, start by listening to it, okay? You value your opinion. Sometimes they may say something and say, "Oh, I bind that idea in Jesus' name. I bind it. You cannot tofiakwa." And all sort of things we say that kind of stops them from expressing themselves. But it is so important that they're able to express themselves so they can tell you anything, and it's important that you try not to show shock or alarm when they tell you something surprising. But when you've listened, you can now start to ask them questions, probing questions, get into a conversation that can help them to think slightly in a different way. So good communication, which I'll talk about later, can help us be able to get into those sort of complex conversations even with our children. How do you show unconditional love and acceptance? Sow positive words and encouragement in your child's life. I tell you, there is no one on earth that has your child's interest at heart as much as you do. So sow positive words. I believe in you. You can do it. You may not be there yet, but I know you can do it. Have high expectations. When you have high expectations of your child, I tell you, they always seek to rise to that expectation. They don't want to disappoint mom or dad. So those positive words show the expectations. Speak of the expectation you have for your child and becomes a source of encouragement. So let's encourage them. As I said before, love should not be performance-based. So even when they take little steps, let's encourage them. Even when they fail and make mistakes, let us help them to learn from their mistakes. And let's keep reminding them at the end, I know that this was a mistake. This is not you. I believe this is not you. And I know that next time you will not do it. Get them involved in decision making. That shows that you value them, you value their ideas, you value their opinions, and it helps develop their self-esteem, gives them a voice out there when they're with their friends so they don't succumb to peer pressure. So the first thing was unconditional love and acceptance. And for a child, love is spelled time. Okay, so another key factor for helping you as a parent develop a positive and productive relationship with your child is be available. Be available. Now, there's a difference between being present and being available. When you're present, you can be in the house. Your child can be all the children have gone into homes where everybody is in their corner. Okay, so everybody is present at home, but everybody is in their corner. There's no interaction. So, but be available for your child. So as a parent, you create a home environment where there is communication, where that reduces isolation, especially during the adolescent phase. When you have teenagers, you need to fight that, because when they're isolated, that is when they indulge in all sort of things out there on the devices that we've handed over to them. So spend as much time talking to your child so that you can know them better. Talk about everything. You can talk about their school. They talk about, their feelings about different issues, about their opinions. Share your family values. Share your story. I tell you, our children love to listen to our stories. Let's get to be vulnerable. Now, there was once I shared something about my story growing up with my daughter. She said, "Wow, Mom, wow, it's amazing. I'm surprised that you're able to tell us all of this." So I told them a story of, a time when I did something that I wasn't very proud of, and how I was able to, ask God for forgiveness about it. So when we do that, we are vulnerable. We teach them that it's okay to make mistakes. We teach them that when they make mistakes, they can come back to us and share with us. And you hold your child's hands and pray with them and pray for God to forgive them. And life continues. So let us share our stories. In our stories, in our life stories, there are many lessons for our children to learn. A lot of people think, well, I don't have a lot of time to talk with my children. I am too busy. But I tell you, you make time for the things that are important for you. You make time. If it's your business that is important for you, you will be doing your business. If it's your career progression, you will do it. Whatever is important for you, you make time for it. So you need to be intentional about making time for your children. Now, if you're a very busy parent, some ideas you could use are, block family meal times. For us, family meal times is blocked. It's a protected time. We are sitting down around the table. We are eating together. There is no TV. There are no devices. We are talking together. I found family meal times to be one of the most powerful times we have used to talk about everything and anything. We talk about our day. We talk about the challenges we face during the day. We talk about the great things that happen during the day. That is so, so powerful. Family meal time. So for busy parents, I'm sure if you can block 30 to 40 minutes for family meal time, sit around the table with your children. I tell you, you cannot underestimate it. And something that I found really powerful also was that when you raise up your children to honor and value family meal times, when they become teenagers where they want to isolate themselves, they know that you have to come down for meal time. There is it's a protected time. Family meal time, family worship time are protected time. So whatever you're doing, you must be present. And it helps to build a relationship even when our teenagers go through those complex, really challenging times for them. You can also make time when you're doing house chores. So dads, you're mowing the lawn outside, get your sons to come and do it with you. Or even your daughters, it's a world where boys, girls can do anything. So we raise up our children to be able to do everything. You're doing house chores, everybody's involved in it. I always say in my home, it's teamwork. So whatever we're doing, we are working as a team to make things work. House chores together, play, Could be indoors, outdoors, board games during holidays. Make time to watch things, watch movies together, maybe once a month, or have a once a month outing, or a time where we just sit down, like on a Saturday evening, just sit down in the sitting room and we're just chatting. Worship time is really, really important for us when we get into a family worship time, especially in the weekend when we do it extensively. We are talking. We are not rushing it, and we are talking. So these are opportunities. If you do school runs, car journeys for me are invaluable. We turn off the music, okay? If we're listening to something, to an audiobook, we're listening to music, maybe we want to listen to it and just soak the presence of God. Or if we're talking together about different things, we're listening to an audiobook, we're listening to a podcast, we are watching something on YouTube, and then we talk about it. So school runs, church journeys, shopping trips are invaluable times for busy parents who find it difficult to make time to interact with their children. Family meetings, you could have family meetings, okay, maybe once a quarter. We have family meetings like in the new year, where we talk about our goals for the year. And then we tend to revisit those goals like every quarter. So we go family meeting, revisit the goals. So these are kind of formal settings where you have a family meetings, okay? And then we have one-to-one bonding time. One-to-one bonding time is really, really important. It's a time that you set aside. I know for busy parents, it could be once a month. You just set aside one day for your child, where you invest in time with a specific child. Now, again, you don't have to go out. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to break your bank. Sometimes I just go into my daughter's room and I just get into the blanket, just get into the bed covers at the bottom of their bed, and we're talking for like 15 minutes, and that is it. It doesn't have to be too long. It doesn't have to be going to an expensive restaurant. It doesn't have to be any of those expensive things. You can just take a walk. Sometimes it's just walking. Take a walk around the neighborhood, with one of your children. So it's important, especially during the teenage phase, to have that one-to-one time, because if you have teenage children there, you realize that for some children, you need to be talking to them for like 20, 30 minutes before they actually open up and start to engage. Now, if you need to do that, then you need to make the time for that. And one of the ways we can make that family time or one-to-one time, exciting, especially for a child who is difficult, who doesn't want to interact, is you can say to them, okay, choose where you want to go. Whatever you want us to do during that time, it's for you to choose. And I tell you, give them that option, they're going to definitely choose something that will make them exciting. And they will be reminding you nearer as the time approaches. So get them involved in it. And let it be a time where you talk to your child, you connect with them. It's not a time where you're complaining. It's not a time where you talk about the things they have done or they have not done, or you are criticizing them. So talk to them about everything. It could be ideas for activities you want to do, what you like most about our family, what you want us to do differently as parents, what makes you feel happy. There's so much we can talk to our children about. And what I found powerful in conversation starting is start to talk to your child about the things that interest them. Is it a program on TV? Engage them with that. Even if they're quiet, they're going to open up and are going to start to talk. So make that one-to-one time a very, very powerful time. It's a time that, when you set your time, your child knows that you really love them and that you value them. It's a time where there's a deep nurturing of the heart and soul between you and your child. And I tell you, it is really, really powerful. Other opportunities are family outings, going out for fun. I've realized that, the truth is that when we go out for fun as a family, or when you go out as a family for fun, you are relaxed, okay? A lot of times home is a bit of a pressure place, because when you get home as a parent, you have so much on your list to do before the time goes. It's like the time just keeps going. So when you come out as a family of that environment that is pressured, your child sees the best side of you. You laugh. We forget about our to-do list at home. We laugh, forget about the plates that have not been washed, forget about the house that has not been hoovered, or the things that have not been done, the homework that has not been done, because we're going out to interact. So it is so powerful. Times out of home are really, really important. If you can make time, it will be absolutely phenomenal. Number 3 would be good communication. So ensure good communication. So good communication fosters positive relationship with our children. And what is communication? Communication is about listening attentively. For some people, especially from our background in Africa, we couldn't talk to our parents. We couldn't look at them in the face and talk. You look at them in the face, you are being disrespectful, you are being defiant. But then when we are in this part of the world, if you don't look at the person's face when you're talking to them, it's like you are, you don't value what they're saying, or you're being rude. So good communication is listening attentively. Eye contact. When you provide that eye contact with your child, it actually helps you to connect with what they are saying. So there's less distraction, there's less wandering of the mind. So you are giving them your full attention. You are valuing them. Remember, when you don't give eye contact, it's like devaluing. So good communication, listen attentively without cutting them. Even if they tell you something shocking, hold yourself. Don't show them you're shocked. Be open. We live in a generation where, as parents, we need to be aware of the things that our children are exposed to in this generation. And if you're not aware, when they talk to you about it, you will be shocked. So try not to be shocked. Try to be open to listen to them carefully, so that you're listening with the intention of understanding. So there are 2 things: listening and understanding. You can listen and then you're not understanding, because you've already decided in your mind that what they're saying makes no sense. What they're saying is ungodly. What they're saying, is unacceptable. But when you listen, you try to understand, and then you engage. You show interest in what they are saying. You show interest by asking questions, by answering. Sometimes, to be honest with you, they don't even want you. The children, when they talk to you, sometimes they don't even want you to give them advice. They don't want a lecture. They don't want any help. They just want a listening ear so they can pour out their hearts. So listen and ask them if they want your advice in certain cases. There are situations where they want your advice. There are situations where they are just talking because they want to unburden themselves. But show interest in what is being said. Ask questions. Can you say it again? Are you, just ask questions to show that interest. That is good communication. So your child will want to come back and engage with you. But when you shut them down, it's like, oh, dad is very judgmental, mom is very judgmental, and so I'm not going to tell them anything because I know what they're going to say anyway. So other elements of good communication are: avoid judging and criticizing your child. They will easily tell you, you're judging, mom, you're judging, and you're criticizing, and that shuts up the doors of communication. Also, build an atmosphere of trust. Trust your child, even when they tell you something that is disappointing. Keep reminding them that, okay, maybe they made a mistake this time, but you believe in them. That is not them. You give them a second chance. You hold their hands and pray with them. It is so powerful to hold your child's hands and pray with them and pray for them. And sometimes get them to pray for you too. It shows vulnerability. It shows humility in the presence of God, and it makes them open. It shows our humanity, the human side of us. Mutual respect, tone of voice, that's very important for good communication. So we're not shouting, we are not insulting, we're not throwing demeaning words, belittling words at them. Okay, so that is really not advisable. Be supportive. As I said, be positive, be hopeful. Even when they don't quite meet, they're not quite there yet, just keep being supportive. I'm a listening ear. I'm a shoulder to lean on. It's okay. I'm going to help you. Sometimes it is like, you may need to readjust some things. You need to make some compromises, as long as it's not something that is harmful, as long as it's in your child's interest. That compromise you're making for them, that's saying, okay, it's okay. I know you have exams now. You could go and leave your house chores. I'm going to do it for you. They know that you have their interests at heart. So it speaks a lot to your child's heart. Shouting and using an aggressive tone of voice, it's demeaning. It makes the child, it passes a wrong information that you didn't you didn't mean to be. Makes them feel small, and when you shout and aggressive, you realize that you're going to get the same response back. So we want a positive relationship with our children. We don't want a confrontational one, and we don't want it to be negative and toxic. So what are the things that strain your relationship with your child? I'm just going to quickly go through that so that we can have even 5 minutes for questions. Okay. Not giving your child full attention when they're talking to you. So when they come to talk to you, they want to talk to you and you're on your phone or on your computer. What you're telling them that you're not useful. You're not valuable enough for me to put down my device or stop the distraction and listen to you. So let's put down those devices. Let's turn off the TV, and listen to them. So number one is not giving our children full attention. The other one I've said before is judging and criticizing them, not trusting them, shutting them down. They want to speak and say, shut up. You just cut them off there. You don't let them speak. That affects relationship with our children, lack of unconditional love and acceptance, comparing them with others. Please do not compare our children, even with their siblings or with other people's children. Our children are created uniquely by God. They have different strengths and weaknesses. So let's not compare them. Children are not all the same. Okay, our children are not clones of each other. Each of them is created uniquely by God with individuality. So let's help our children to accept, to come to terms with their uniqueness. It's so, so important. Let's not compare them with others, but let us be patient with prayers, with encouraging words, whatever it is you want them to grow in. I believe that with love and encouraging words, they will grow. Let's avoid harsh punishment or punishment that is not commensurate to, to the offense. There is no need for that. So let's avoid harsh punishment. It strains our relationship with our children. There are many ways we can correct our children's mistakes without it being harsh and over the top. So I have some food for thought for you. I'm going to just read them out. How much time do you spend on average talking with your child daily? Now, I've done in some parenting workshops I've done, I have asked this question, but I've put in there, put your hand up if you can say you spend 10 quality minutes undistracted talking to your child every day. And very few people, sadly, spend 10 minutes talking to their children every day. So the next food for thought, could you create more time talking and interacting with your child? So you think about your schedule, think about your reality. How can you create more time talking and interacting with your child? The next food for thought is, what stops you from making more time with your child? Next, how often do you do family activities together? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it fortnightly? The next food for thought, could you do more family activities? And what stops you from doing more family activities? What is the range of activities you could do as a family? Because sometimes I tell you, people don't even know what to do because we're a product of our environment. If we grew up in a home where there was little interaction between parents and children, then we don't have a lot of model. We didn't bring models coming into our own homes and having our own children. So, what do you think are the range of activities? And sometimes it's a good idea to write them down, to list the different things you could do as a family. And that will give you an idea when you want to plan an outing or plan an intentional family activity out. You then look at your list. We never stop growing, we never stop learning. I love to write, I love lists. I love writing down ideas because when I'm inspired, the ideas flow. And then sometimes you're not as inspired and then you don't have the ideas. But then you could have your list of foods to cook menu, you could have a list of activities to do as a family. So let's working with lists, or writing things down so that you don't forget them. I found that to be really, really positive. So, in a nutshell, we've discussed the importance of developing a positive and productive relationship with your child. We spoke about three elements. The first was loving your child unconditionally and accepting them. We spoke about the being available for your child, and we spoke about the power of good communication in fostering a good relationship with your child. So I've finished, and what I'd like to do now is to be able to take some questions. I hope I can actually see the questions typed in the chat box there on Instagram. Then, Sandra, I hope I can hear you so you can coordinate that. I can't hear you. I'm not sure why this is doing this to us today. Last year it was the same. We kind of wasted a few minutes last year. I don't know. I can't hear you at all. But if you take me off, I can hear you. But when we are together, I can't hear you. Okay, so if there are questions before we have like 5 minutes before our time is up, I'll gladly take questions. Okay. Let me check on Instagram to see if there is anything in the chat box. Let's see. Let me see. I hope it's been beneficial. Please just let me know how you feel about the session. If you just type it in the chat box on Instagram, that would be great. It's good to know that we are learning and we're growing together. And also encourage us all as parents, never stop learning. We only get better when we learn. And when we learn, we become empowered parents and become better versions of ourselves for our children's good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Yes.
I don't know if you can. Oh, you can hear me.
I can
Woo!
hear you, yes.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes. Can you hear me too?
Oh, fantastic. Yes, I can. I can. I can.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Yes.
much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful exposition. Thank you so much. I don't know what's going on. You know, before your profile was read, you could hear me clearly, but I don't know what went wrong. And I'm
Yeah.
so sorry for any inconvenience that may have caused you. I hope you can
It's
still hear me. Thank you
I can
so
still
much,
hear you,
ma'am.
yes.
Um, do we have Okay, okay. Do we have questions? Do we have questions? I'm so excited about this topic, that you've spoken about, and some things really, jumped out at me. at me as you were speaking. One of them was that when you get aggressive with your child, they will respond with the same vibe. And we see that
Sure.
happening a lot in parenting, because children would mirror you as a parent. And then this child has been soaking in that aggression. And one day, the child just hits back, the child fires back. And the parent is like, oh, how did I get here? That was really, really um, profound to me. And then you also said something. You said we should help our children come to terms with their uniqueness. Every child is unique in their own right. Even though sadly, we still find lots of parents, comparing their children with others and even with their own siblings. I'm glad that you made that very clear to us. How we can children come to terms with their uniqueness and letting go of harsh punishment, shouts, and all of that, that end up devaluing, overreacting. Lots of parents, their children have so many information, like lots of information to divulge to them, but just hack that they will hear, they just, oh my God, I don't want to use the Yoruba word for
Can't
that.
be
They
bothered.
just pounce on the
Yes.
cloud. Oh my God. They just pounce on the cloud and then the child just locks up, just like a
Shuts up.
crab that, what's the word now? That recluses back
Goes
to
back
its
into his
shell.
shell.
So I
Yeah.
love the fact that you also highlighted, yes, listening without overreacting. Sometimes we need to save our children the long lecture. Sometimes they just want to unpack those emotions. Sometimes they just want to let us know what's going on. Not necessarily for you to start preaching to them, do this and do that. Of course, there will be times for that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm glad that you pointed that out too. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm very grateful to our audience. If you know you got value from this session, I want you to show us in the comments. I want you to show us in the comments. If you have questions, please put it in the comments so that our guest can answer before she leaves. I know a lot of people are going to get to the replay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to leave their questions in the comments on YouTube as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. If you enjoyed the session, if you got value, let us see your responses in the comments. Thank you for always. We can't overemphasize the magic of nurturing a positive relationship with your child. I love the fact that magic, is part of the topic because it is actually a game changer. That
Absolutely.
positive relationship. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm going to release
You're
you now. I really,
It's
really
a pleasure.
appreciate
Thanks
your
for
time and
inviting
your
me.
effort. Thank you for always saying yes. Thank you for always saying yes whenever I call. Thank you for always. I want you to know that I appreciate you dearly. Thank you very
Amen.
much, ma'am. All
My
right.
pleasure. My
So
pleasure. Yeah.
let
And thanks
me.
for putting this up together. Thanks for the
Okay.
work
Okay.
you
So
do.
before I let you go,
Uh-huh.
please give us your final word.
Yes, so I was going to say
Thank
thank you
you.
for
Thank
putting
you.
this
Thank you.
together. Thank you for everything you do for the parents because in our generation, there is no excuse for ignorant parenting. If you're ignorant, the world will
Mm,
swallow up your child. And before you know, you grow, your
mm,
child will turn into something that you will be doubting. Is this mine? So please, parents,
mm,
let's tap into these opportunities to educate ourselves. Because when you're educated,
mm,
you're empowered, you become a better parent. I remember when I started my parenting education journey, it's a long story, but I'm just
mm,
going to cut it short. And my first daughter
mm,
was slightly older, and as I was
mm,
reading and implementing, and I was seeing the transformation, and she said, "Mom, I can actually see that you have grown. I can actually see that you have changed. So I became a better person, a better parent. I tried different strategies and it led to a better outcome, a better relationship with my children and with my family. So please, let's never stop learning. Let's never stop reading. Let's never stop taking advantage of opportunities like attending conferences like the Winning in Parenting Conference and whichever other opportunity you have for learning. So let's never keep learning. It's for your good. And when it's good for you, it's good for your children and good for the family at large.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. If you are ignorant, the world will swallow your child. That is so deep. So there's no excuse for ignorance. There is no.
No.
Bishop David Oyedepo says something. He says, every man's mountain is his ignorance. Every man's mountain. So that challenge, you are in it because you are ignorant about how to go out of, or how to get out of it. And that is what you have mentioned as well. If you are ignorant, the world will swallow your child. So knowledge, in the parenting journey, the learning process cannot be overemphasized. Thank you so much, ma'am. We love and appreciate you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and God bless you
God bless you
richly.
too.
We
God
love
bless
you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
for now.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us tonight. Thank you. I'm so glad you came, and I'm glad that you have heard these words. I have also heard these words. Now, the thing is, throughout this conference, it might just be one word you need to receive. It might just be one word. What I received yesterday, I have not recovered from it. So I want to encourage you, to attend the other sessions as well. Our guest said something. She said, when it comes to love for a child, it is spelled time. Love is spelled time when it comes to our children. And so the time that we're spending here, listening to the guests and gleaning information from them is not one that is wasted. It is an investment. And trust me, there's no way you sit through all the sessions that you're not going to come out of this conference with a change of mindset and with skill sets to help you pull through any area where you may be having a challenge. So I want to deeply appreciate you all for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. We continue again tomorrow. We'll be talking about sex education for children. We will be talking about what other thing are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about parenting in a blended family. Yes, we have those parents who are now single moms or dads. We have those parents who are divorcees, and have remarried. A blended family comes with so much peculiarities and sometimes complications. You need to understand how to navigate your parenting when you find yourself in a blended family. And our guest is going to be talking about is very seasoned in that particular niche. So I really look forward to having you tomorrow join us. And we're also talking about teenagers, how you can help your teenagers thrive in today's world where so many things are vying for their attention. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Our first session begins at 3 p.m. I'll see you there. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Yeah. There's an outpouring of abundance, of abundance. new doors have been opened. The land, it is green. A new grace has been released. The glory of the latter is greater than the former. The blessing is here. It's all here. Lift up your hands, come on. The glory of the latter is greater than the former. The blessing is here. It's all here. All here. There's another flow. Abundance of it.